In my hand, I have the iPhone 16e versus the iPhone 15 Pro. This is the conversation that people should be having. When it comes to the new iPhone 16e, it is underwhelming to say the least. I think when I'm thinking about these two phones, I have a really hard time recommending the 16e to anybody, but I have a really easy time recommending the 15 Pro. So I want to go over the pros and cons of both of them, kind of look at them side by side and see which one you should spend your money on. Because the reality is you have money and you've worked really hard for your money, and if you spend it on something that's not that good, that's a tragedy. And so I want to help you out. Now, there's a little bit of good news here. When you're looking at either iPhone, here's the thing. iPhones have essentially been perfected. They are amazing right now. I mean, I don't know that you could really go wrong with any. And so the reality of the question that we're talking about today is really what's the best bang for your buck, not is it a good iPhone? Because like in a vacuum, the iPhone 16e would actually be a pretty solid phone. I mean, this thing, like the white, actually you can't really see it too well in the thing, but the white looks gorgeous. It is a gorgeous phone. Yes, it does have the notch at the top, which is unfortunate. But overall, like in a vacuum, if this iPhone 16e was just kind of existed without any other iPhones, it's a solid device. But truth is, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. There are other iPhones out there, so let's compare them. All right, so first let's look at the physical design of these phones. They are fairly similar in their size. If I put the iPhone 16e on top of the iPhone, let me put it down and do that. They are essentially the same size, little bit of difference. When you're looking at the thickness of these phones, essentially the same size. Once again, we'll look at them on this level. Yeah, I mean they are pretty much indistinguishable. Now the reality of this is too, when you have any phone in your pocket, you're not going to know the difference. I will tell you the weight difference. It feels like the 15 Pro is heavier than the 16e. It's got more stuff in there, so it kind of makes sense. And one of the biggest things you notice right off the bat is the fact that the 16e has only one camera on it, where the 15 Pro has the 3 camera, which is the wide, the regular, and the telephoto lens. To me, that's not a massive deal. Granted, I do take like all of my pictures with the iPhone. I don't really use my nice cameras to take pictures of my family, and so the cameras are important, but 99% of the time for me, I'm using the wide angle lens, and so I could compensate with that by just stepping further back with the regular camera. But you're buying this thing, you're spending a lot of money. I mean, $600 for a single camera, that's not great. It would be okay if it had other features like MagSafe and all that kind of stuff, but we'll talk about what it doesn't have in just a minute. But the camera, it can be an issue if this is your main thing and you really value photos. I think of photos more for the memory rather than like the quality of the photo. That's just me. I know a lot of people differ on that. And so if camera is your really big thing, then I would definitely go with the 15 Pro. It does also have on the side the camera button on both of these guys. And so if that's you and you like using that camera button to activate your camera, it's there for you. I have literally, since the 15 Pro, never once used that button. It's ingrained in me to hit the button. Let's see if we can do this. Hit the button on the top right here. That's just what I am used to. So apparently I can't get it right. That's what I'm used to. A quick thank you to our sponsor today, ESR. They have sponsored today's video with their new Geo Wallet stand and their Halo Lock Tough Case. Here's the thing about the iPhone 16e that is very frustrating. It does not support MagSafe. So if you spent your money and you got all these MagSafe accessories, they will not work. Well, ESR has come to save the day with their Halo Lock Tough Case. Now, like it says in the description, this case is very tough. The inside is soft. It's got this kind of rubber lining on it, and as you can see right here, it does great with MagSafe accessories. All you do is just lock it in real quick. And just like that, it's in the case, looks good, solid as a rock. Now, it does add some bulk to the phone, but like I said, this is a tough case, so it's made so that you can drop your phone and it is going to be totally fine. Now, here's the cool thing. When you have a case like this, because it adds the MagSafe, you can do that with their new wallets. These things are super cool. They have a 1,500 gram magnet on it, so it doesn't matter how hard I shake it, I can't get it off. And I have used this wallet every single day for like the past 3 or 4 months on my iPhone 16 Pro Max. I literally never take this thing off of my phone. And so what's really great about it is it has the finger loop right here, so you can use it like that. Again, it's not coming off of your hand, But what's really cool about it, and this is what I love about it, is the fact that you can stand your phone up like this. I do this all day, every day, and in fact, not only do I do that, you can turn it on its side and kind of watch YouTube videos with it like that, but what I end up doing is I turn it on my side and I hold it in my hand like this because it's more comfortable to watch something holding your phone like this than it is to hold your phone like that. And so what's funny is even with it like this, I have actually found it so much more comfortable to turn it into landscape mode like this, holding my phone like this. Now, this wallet has a little secret up its sleeve as well. The fact that it has full Find My support. So sometimes what will happen is I'll charge my phone at night and I'll take this thing off, charge my phone, I'll put my wallet somewhere, I won't know where it's at. This has full Find My support. So not only do they have the Geo wallet, they also have this, which is the magnetic wallet stand. Now it looks a little bit thinner than the other one. However, what I really like about it is on the inside, it's got spaces for more cards. And so you can put your ID card there. That's really awesome. And like the other one, it just really easily magnets to the back. And so when you need it, you can stand your phone up like this, stand your phone up like that, and then also look at the range of this thing. Like you can do so many different things with these newest ESR wallets and this new tough case. If you get yourself one of these tough cases, it has 7 times the military grade of toughness, which is, you're gonna drop this thing. Again, I said it's probably for grandparents, the 16E. If you get it for them, get them a tough case, it'll last. As you can see on this guy, you can fit a whole bunch of different cards. And so what I want you guys to do is go ahead and click the link in the description below. I think the biggest testament is the fact that I've used this wallet every day for the past probably 4 or 5 months, maybe a little bit less than that, and I have no complaints. I literally will not leave my house without this. That is not a plug from them. That is a serious thing. I use these things all the time, so I super highly recommend ESR wallets and their cases. Go ahead, click the link in the description below and get yours today. Let's get back into the video. So aside from that, the colors of the 16E are just black and white, but man, I really love the natural titanium of the 15 Pro. That was one of the main selling points for me with the 15 Pro, was the natural titanium. Looks so good. Next, let's talk about the screens of these two. This has a 60 hertz screen on the 16E, whereas the 15 Pro has an always-on display and it has the 120 hertz. And so no matter what, the 15 Pro screen is just gonna look a little bit better. I mean, I don't really know if you can tell it on the camera, but the 15 Pro is smooth with the 120 hertz. Now, I have said this in my past videos before, I don't think that's a massive deal, like a deal breaker, specifically for who this phone is going to be for, which is very few people. The 120 hertz rate, you get used to it, but as long as you're not like sitting there scrolling up and down, or you're not a gamer, you don't really notice it as much. Obviously, it's a nice to have in 2025, like the regular phone should have 120 hertz and then the Pro phone should have 240 hertz. That's just my opinion. But if you're gonna be making your decision on this phone, whether or not it has the 120 hertz, I don't think it's that big of a deal. However, once again, because this thing is priced at $600, $599 at the base model, that's just kind of ridiculous. For that kind of money, you should at least get the 120 hertz display. It's getting harder and harder to recommend this phone. Next, let's talk about what's on the inside of these phones. The cool thing about the 16E that you're getting is you are actually getting the A18 chip in it, which is really great because that's what comes on the regular 16. The difference is it is a binned version of the chip, and so it is losing one of the cores. I think it's one GPU, one CPU core. Either way, it's a little bit less powerful. The average person will not know the difference. Like, you do not use your phone anywhere near the potential, unless you're a video game player on your iPhone, and that's like the main thing you do. That's not me. I'm 36 years old. I don't do that all that much anymore. If that's your main thing, then yeah, you'll want to go up to a Pro phone with 120 hertz display, all that kind of stuff, but the chip in these things doesn't really matter. Now, the new iPhone 16, it does have a new modem in it, which is their C1 chip. They have designed it themselves. They're no longer going with Qualcomm, but once again, that's just not something the average person is going to use. You're going to have a new router and all that kind of stuff with you, in your house to be able to do that. Your networking has to be up to par to be able to use the new networking features. And so, man, C1, that's kind of cool, but not really that big of a deal. Next, another main standout feature is the fact that it doesn't have the dynamic island. I actually find the dynamic island extremely helpful when I am using my phone. The dynamic island actually shows kind of display information if you're using maps and all that, and so the dynamic island to me is a really big deal. The notch on this guy, like you do get used to it, and so if you've never used or never had a phone with the dynamic island, it's not gonna like make or break it for you, but I do find it to be a really useful tool. And so still, I would go with the 15 Pro over the 16e. And then the final thing on these phones is gonna be the price. What is the price difference? The old iPhone SE was like $499, something like that. This one is $599. For that price, it's not looking too good. Here's the thing, man. I honestly think Apple is using this phone to try to sell older phones and to try to sell their C1 chip. I might do a video kind of talking about that more in depth, so go ahead and get subscribed to the channel if you want to see that. But for that price, $599, I cannot recommend it because when you go on eBay, you can find the iPhone 15 Pro, which is better in absolutely every single way. The only maybe difference might be a little bit of battery life, but because this has Qi charging, you just kind of slap it down on a wireless charger, charges up just fine, no big deal. You can find the 15 Pro for about $650. So like $50 more, you get so much better of a phone. And for me, that's awesome because you can buy last year's tech for almost the same price as the current kind of generation of technology, and it ends up being better. And so if I were you, and I was spending my hard-earned money. I work all day. I try to make videos. I'm a pastor as well. I work hard at that job. If that's all I did was just be a pastor and I wanted to buy something that was going to be a good stewardship and a good use of my money, I would not go with the 16e. I would go with the 15 Pro. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which one of these two phones? Do you think anybody should buy the 16e? I think it's probably for grandparents personally, but other than that, I don't really know. If you're a grandparent, don't take offense to that. There's a lot of grandparents that don't know what they're doing with phones, and you can admit that, okay? Like this video if you found it helpful, sub to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.